following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
So many things get started at pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Hey, good evening, fans. Welcome here to the Coaches Show here at the Piney Area Coaches Show. And we got a couple coaches patiently waiting by here. We're going to get things started off here. We got Coach Wager, we got Coach Lewis of Shelbyville, and Tenahall coming up here to chat with us here today at the Pizzeria at the Piney Area Coaches Show. And I know a couple weeks ago we had a little bit of difficulty out there, folks. I apologize for that to you. But, hey, one of those things that happens. And then last week, of course, we had the crazy weather out here, no school, and everything was going on. So we didn't have a show, but we're back here this week as we didn't really miss too much basketball last week. We did have a game where we got to skip it out onto Wednesday and skip it out onto Wednesday and keep it up there on Friday night as well and play some good basketball as we went through last week here into the Piney Woods. A lot of good games still to come up here as we're getting close to the end of the regular season. The regular season for the guys, I should say. The regular season for game for the guys, I do believe, or for the gals, is on February the 4th. And then their playoff districts that start after that. It should be that following Friday or that following Tuesday. Could be. So we'll be following those teams as I get ready to go, but we're going to have the next couple of days here or the next couple of weeks where we try to figure out exactly which teams are going where and how they're going to be placed out here. As we're going to start girls playoffs after that, and then we'll have the guys with their playoffs as we go through the month of February. And into the month of February, we'll also start on some of our soccer stuff, and also baseball and softball is already getting underway. Saw some baseball and softball scrimmages. They tried to put some of those tournaments and those scrimmages on this past weekend. Some of them were able to get done, but some of them were not able to due to the weather. But if we do know that is starting up as well. Got a lot of great teams in the area. We were covering softball and baseball last year, and one team this year that I definitely want to make sure I get down there. It was I missed the San Augustine Wolves last year. Had a couple of scheduling conflicts last year where we weren't able to cover the Wolves, but we're definitely going to get down there and cover the Wolves this year. Got some great teams down there, West Sabine, also Torino. Just some great teams down there in softball and baseball. We're looking forward to that. That's season's coming up already, if you can believe that. Here as we're getting down to the latter part of the basketball season, but a lot of great basketball on the way. I got the chance here as I live here in Center, and even though I do all the games up and down the Piney Woods area, I got the chance Friday night to actually go do a Center game with Watlington and Shires as we were down there in the Coliseum here as Madisonville came to town. What a great game it was. The gals, they played a really good game, but they came up with a good victory there. And then the guys, they fought tooth and nail there toward the end. And that Madisonville squad, they came in here with some six players on their bench. 4A squad, playing a very good undefeated team in Center in the Rough Riders there Friday night. And Madisonville hung with them all night and actually hung a 1-point victory on it too. So it was just a great game back and forth. The Madisonville, they did a really good job there, and the Center Rough Riders just they had a great game. Just couldn't quite pull away from the Madisonville Mustangs on the short crew there, but they did a really good job. It was a lot of fun to call the game there at the Coliseum on Friday night. So now we're getting ready to go here, and we're going to have some changes in the schedule this week. I know for sure Friday we're going to be over in West Sabine down there to see Coach Bragg and Coach Williams as Shelbyville coming down there, and it's going to be Shelbyville and West Sabine on Friday, and then on Tuesday we'll wrap up the regular season on February the 4th in Shelbyville, as it will be San Augustine and Shelbyville. Those two teams there on the guys and the girls side could be very big, because the girls are trying to stay in on the girls. The San Augustine girls are right up there. They're going to be up there. As Shelbyville girls are trying to get their way in there. So that's going to be after the game. They're going to have to get there. So that's going to be very important as we go down. As the girls are wrapping up the regular season around that time, that could be district seating there for both those teams as we get ready to go. Also, West Sabine, they're doing very well there too, as we're talking about some of the girls' teams here. And on some of those here, so on the girls' side, we do know that in 1A still, you got Broadus as number 4, Brooklyn is number 10. And District 23, this way they have them picked. Now, the Tenahall Lady Tigers have dropped out of the top 25, but that's okay. They're still playing very, very well out there. Just a tough schedule that they have. But they have Tenahall, Timpson, Wascom, and Garrison in that top 23 for girls there. I don't think that the Wildcat Lady Wascom is going to be in there. I think another team is going to climb up in there for that. And who that's going to be, that could be you don't know. It could be another one of those teams. Beckville could be jumping in there. You never can tell. But in District 24, you got Woden, Chirino, West Sabine, and San Augustine trying to get in there. They're that number 4 spot. And that also could be a couple other teams trying to get in there. So as we get down to the last little part of the season here, it's going to be a little bit crazy there on the girls' side. So coming up tomorrow, and now maybe headed over to Tenahall as we'll be over there at the SEC maybe for tomorrow night as it's going to be Tenahall and Garrison going on over there, and then Friday night head on over to West Sabine for West Sabine and Shelbyville for that matchup there. Get ready for the last little week or so there of the girls system as we get ready to roll here into the month of February. And it looks like two folks, we got through the cold spell here in Texas. We got our cold spell out of the way. We may get a little bit more of a cool weather coming up here in the next couple weeks, but I don't think it's going to be very much. But we're looking to do some warmer weather. It looks like we're going to have a really good time and some nice stuff coming up here to let some of those softball, baseball teams start to get out there and get some of those scrimmages and start rock and roll with that. But lots of basketball to talk about here. I'm going to talk to Coach Wager and Coach Lewis of Tenahall as well as Shelbyville. Well, looking right here on the guy side of it, the way things are looking up here in District 23 is Beckville sitting there on the top, Tenahall, Gary, and then Timpson. But Tenahall got a big win over Beckville the other night, so that was good for them. And 24, it is Shelbyville, St. Augustine, Chirino, and Hemphill. That's the way it's kind of sitting in there right now. So those teams are really playing it along real good right in there, and it's going to be real good coming down to the last little part of it here in the next couple of weeks. All right, so we're going to get Coach Wager over here, going to have a chat with him, or Coach Lewis. We're going to see who wants to come over here first. We're going to have a chat with one of those guys, and we'll talk to them about their program. We'll get back here on the Pineywood Area Coaches Show. It's coming up here on NetSN at where we at? We're at the pizzeria. Oh yeah, the pizzeria. Love the pizza.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with a primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with Best of Nacogdoches and Best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
All right, here we go. All righty, folks, welcome back here to the Pineywood Area Coaches Show live from the pizzeria. Starting to fill up in here in the pizzeria. And with us right now is Coach Wager of the Shelbyville Dragons. Coach, how's it going?
It's going good.
Awesome. Good to hear, man. Hope everything's going good with the guys and get through that little cold spell that we had going on and everybody doing good.
Oh, absolutely. We kind of had to move some games or move a game to a Wednesday last week playing Chirino, and had, two tough games on the road, going to Chirino and then going to Hemphill on Friday night. But, guys played well and we were able to get 2 wins last week. So
yeah, that was really good there, especially one on the I wanted to ask you something while it was fresh in my mind. I saw something in this basketball related question. I saw something and I didn't even know that this was an issue or could happen, but I saw that, I'm not going to name the program, but I saw a program where their coach got suspended and all that because they had too many non-district games. I didn't know you could play too many non-district games, and that got him in a little bit of trouble with that. Is that a case? I didn't know that was an issue.
Well, so there's only a certain number of games you can play along with tournaments.
I see. I know you can only play like 3 tournaments.
Right, so you can play up to 3 tournaments, but you don't have to play 3 tournaments. And so depending on how many tournaments you play dictates how many games that scheduled games that you can play. And of course, every district game for us, we have 14 district games, and so that counts as every one of your scheduled games.
Right.
So I think for us, we can play 3 tournaments and then up to 21 games. So you've got 14 district games, so you can only schedule 7. And then I
Right.
think you replace each tournament with 2 scheduled games. So if you only play 2 tournaments,
Right.
then you can play 23 games and then
Right.
so on. I think the if you play 0 tournaments, you can play 27 scheduled
Right.
games. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. And if you schedule too many, I mean, that's why you got to really take a look at that. And if you get in a bind, you'll have to end up forfeiting games. And
Mm-hmm.
luckily, I don't know what program that was, but luckily they're catching it early
Right.
where they don't have to forfeit district games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they had to forfeit some games, and the coach, got in a little bit of suspension out there.
right.
But I guess I can understand. But I didn't know that was. I didn't know you could schedule not too many non-district games.
Yep.
But I guess I guess I could see that. Trying to get as much in there. Get your guys as much in there as on. Well, that's cool. Okay. Anyway, now we got that figured out. All right. Well, let's go a little bit here, but let's talk a little bit about Hemp Hill because I haven't got the chance to see Hemp Hill. And this is the second time we got to play them. And they're coming down to the 3. They dropped down to here with us, and they're sitting at number 4 spot in our district. They're a pretty solid little squad. They're looking to make some noise here and get themselves in the district.
Well, they're really athletic. They've got 4 or 5 guys that you go watch warm-ups, and if you walked in the gym and you didn't know anything about either one of the 2 teams, you're like, man, this team's really, really athletic. They've got 4 or 5 guys that can jump up and dunk the ball, and they impose some challenges. And we're not super big, and early we didn't really respond well. The athleticism was kind of getting to us. We trailed by 3 at the half, and I didn't think the guys were being very tough and responding to some of the officiating that was going on. But credit to our guys in the second half, they really responded well. Started knocking down some shots on the outside and getting and playing off 2 feet, and then really just not being soft in the second half. So I was proud of them.
Right. Well, that's good, because, Hemp Hill, we were kind of wondering what it was going to be like coming down here. Didn't really, we would see them earlier, but just kind of see how they were going to, but we knew they were going to be pretty solid. And then, was it it had to be a totally different style to go from that athleticism in Hempville, from Torino with the height and stuff that they had. I mean, not saying they're not athletic because they are, but they had some height down there.
Well, they impose challenges as well. They start 6'8", 6'5", 6'4", 6'3",
Right.
just height that we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And again, kind of got off to a better start in that game than we did against Hemp Hill, made some shots, early, and we're able to just kind of manage an 8 to 9 point lead the entire game and make big baskets down the stretch when we needed to be. But I thought we were more physical in that game than we were in the Hemp Hill game. I thought we rebounded the ball a lot better and were able to get into some of those guys' bodies and go seek the ball off the glass. So, it's always hard to win on the road. I tell guys all the time, when you go on the road,
Mm-hmm.
you can't account for anything. You got to think you're down 10 points when you walk into the building, and adversity is going to punch you in the face, and you better be ready to respond to it. You better not respond to officials' calls. You better not respond to the fans. You better not respond to any of that stuff. And that's something that we talk about with our guys almost every single day. And credit to them, they listen. They've really done a great job of taking coaching, and we've been undefeated on the road so far this year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 9-0 coming up here in the district, and I think the new rankings came out today, still ranked at number 4 there in Class 2A, which is really, really good. And the Tennehaw Tigers, they're jumping back up in there too. They're having a really good season. We're going to talk Coach Lewis a little bit coming up too. But I mean, the team is looking really well. And I want to go back a little bit. We covered you guys there against Torino and John and Geechee. Sometimes it gets me too because it looks like they get it kind of like, man, is he hurting a little bit? Is he just trying to fight through something or whatever? But those 2 guys are just they just make everything dynamic out there. Sometimes when you need something, you can always go to DJ. He's going to be electric for you. But the Mathis guys, they just seem to be that little spark that you got to have when you need it.
Well, nobody's ever questioned their work ethic and them playing hard.
Right.
Their motor is something that I've never had to coach in 2 years. And, I'm unbelievably thankful for that because
Mm-hmm.
those kind of kids don't come around very often,
Right.
and when they do what they're coached to do and they play off of 2 feet and they hit the open guy and we don't try to do too much, they're really, really, really good players.
Mm-hmm.
So, just got to keep making shots, keep playing off of 2 feet, and something that we talk about with them all the time. But their motor is unbelievable with those
Right.
2 kids.
But I know, and I talk to them every time after the game. They always want to get that dunk in there somewhere along the way, but they don't. Not ever get that opportunity. I know you'd probably say okay if they get that chance, but you'd rather see them just shoot a nice easy field goal, get the high percentage shot.
Well, I love them both to death, and I hope they're watching this
Right.
because neither one of them dunk.
Oh,
They
okay.
think they can, but they can't. And I just want 2 points. I want the ball to go in the basket
Right.
off the glass, and 2 points added to that scoreboard. All right,
Okay, there you
just
go.
for the record, they
Nice and
can't
easy.
dunk.
Duncan is off the mountain, guys. There you go. But I tell you what, too, and some of the other guys out there, and what I like too is I really found like Dally Murray. I like to call him Dally for some reason nowadays. But Dallas Murray, he's got his head on more of a swivel now. He seems like he's got through the season here, and he's got to be that big guy down in there. He's playing a lot of minutes. He doesn't get in any foul trouble there. He rebounds really well. He's not the tallest guy out there, but he does take care of the ball whenever he gets it. And it's just, he kind of knows where he needs to be. But like I said, his head's on a bigger swivel now than it has been in earlier in the season.
Well, coming into the season, we have four senior guards that are really good, and he knew that was his route to get on the floor every night, and he
Hmm.
has embraced this role, as well as anybody can, and he thinks the game very well. He's in the right spots. Sometimes I wish he was about 5 or 6 inches taller, but he's done a great job with his size. He started to figure out how to be more physical, how to get into the bodies of people and go get the rebound. And something me and Coach Wallace were talking about the other day, he does a really good job of finding the ball when it comes off the rim, and that's a
Hmm.
skill. That's hard to teach. It's hard to get guys to understand when the ball, where it's going to come off at and go get it. But he's done a great job. He had 9 rebounds the other night at
Right.
Sharino. I think he got about 5 or 6 the other night at Hemphill, and has just really stepped into that role and embraced it fully. And he's doing a heck of a job for us.
Yeah, and I saw him too. He's working on his box out a little bit more. He's starting to get his backside out there a little bit more, pushes and give me a little bit more weight in there. I did see it a little bit there. So keep that up, Dallas. You're
Well,
doing a good
of
job up
course, he
there.
broke his foot during football
Hmm.
season, and he was out for a very lengthy amount of time, 7, 8 weeks before he came back, and he kind of put on a little weight, and he's kind of starting to use that weight a little bit here
Right.
in basketball season and move people around in the lane. So, it's been good for him.
Definitely. And another young man we want to talk about too, because he's really playing good, and you like to see him out there. Tanner Doggett, all over the place there. He's one of those guys that and what I like too is that you don't see a whole lot of foul trouble by the team here, and they move the ball around very well. And it just like to see that he's a great addition to what you got out there.
Well, he thinks the game well. He does what he's coached to do, and defensively, he understands his assignment every night. And offensively, he really doesn't take bad shots. He shoots the ball when he's open, and he's knocked down some really big ones for us out there. And he just kind of understands. He understands where's the ball needs to go, and he never tries to do too much.
Hmm.
So, and sometimes, he'll look up on the stat sheet and he'll kind of have like a quiet 12 or 14. You're like,
Right.
man, I didn't realize he scored that many tonight.
All
So.
right. Well, how is he when he gets his little brother out there? Is he on his heart on his little brother,
Oh
help him
man,
get him
they
going?
go at it. Today in practice, those two were guarding each other during our shell drill, and they were just absolutely going at it.
Nice.
Kind of some brotherly love out there. So.
Gotta love that. That's definitely good. Another young man too. We've seen little spurts of it here. You've told me, and you're very much on him, and know he's going to be a big part of the swindle. He's
Yes.
going to be a big part of it. He hasn't got a whole lot of minutes here and there, but whenever he's in there, he's been very productive. And I like to see him coming off the bench. He's going to almost be that sixth man, almost really.
Right, and he's growing, and he's kind of stepped into a different role than he's been used to in the game of basketball over the course of his life, and has really, embraced his role as well. But he adds a little bit more athleticism to us, than Dallas does. But he's doing a great job. He's being very coachable, and he's grown so much from last year to this year,
Mhm.
and I couldn't be more proud of him.
Yeah, I tell you what, just seeing these guys grow up in here, knowing that the team that they've been a part of, and knowing what's coming up here this year too, and and you hate to go through this last little bit of the season here and think, okay, you don't want to just run through here and then also always have a bad game out of there, and then the next thing you know we're out so early or whatever. But how do you kind of keep the guys saying, okay, we know where we've been, we know where we want to be, but we have to stay grounded here because we
Right.
could have that one bad night at a time
Sure.
that we don't want it to be
Well, we talk about, approaching every game the same, whether we're playing what we think is the best team in our league or the worst team in our league. It's just approaching every day, every practice, every drill the exact same way,
there.
and we have to prepare for, the bottom of our league just like we would if we were playing in the regional finals or the state semifinals. And so just being locked in mentally, sometimes it's hard with kids. They kind of forget that stuff, but that's something that we talk about is not getting bored with the same stuff that we do every day. And it's got to be second nature to us. We almost have to be perfect at it. That's what we try. We're never going to be perfect, but by this time of the year, everything that we've been doing since day one's got to be almost perfected, and,
Mhm.
and and not straying away from that day in and day out.
Right. Well, I tell you what, it's a lot of fun to watch. I know the crowd's always into it there, and the guys have had a lot of fun here getting the season rolling and keeping it going right now. And got a tough one coming up, Woden tomorrow night. The Woden guys, they're in there as well. But the Woden girls are really really good. But what do you know from Woden as they're coming in?
They're a scrappy bunch. They played us to a close game at their place. Not a whole lot of offense early in that game. We struggled making shots. Credit to Coach Phillips over there, did a great job of having us scouted. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I think, if we can get out and run a little bit and play out of transition and force some turnovers, I think we can really try to run away with that game at home tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you want to keep it on that long. And then you got West Sabine on Friday. We plan on being down there in West Sabine on Friday. That's always a good one. Coach Williams' squad, they're trying to get into that little spot down there too. So what you got to do to keep Coach Williams and those Sabine Tigers down, because they're pretty salty little group too.
They are, those two big guys, Jacoby and Tristan down low, are extremely athletic, and they impose a challenge for us. So really getting into their bodies, boxing out, just, being more tough and more physical than they are. So I think if we can rebound the basketball, maybe create some turnovers, and for us, take care of the basketball ourselves, I think we'll be just fine when we go down there on the road on Friday night.
All right, definitely good basketball here from the Shelbyville Dragons. But I want to throw a little bit down here and get it, because I follow Coach Murray, and Coach Murray, he got the 7th graders down there, and they took care of business in the Tennehaw tournament this past week. Tell me a little bit about how those went. Those guys are playing really good.
Man, that group is fun to watch. I didn't get to make the first game. We got home late Friday night, so I didn't make the first one, but I was able to get over there and sit with them for the last 2 games. But man, they've got 3 or 4 kids that are going to be fun to watch here in a few years. And then they're a scrappy bunch.
Right.
They play really hard. They've got size. They've got guys that can play on the perimeter, and they're going to be fun. They're going to be a lot of fun to be around, and they're a fun bunch too. I kind of sat in the huddle with them and sat on the bench, and they take coaching very, very well. So I was really pleased and really proud of them the way they played this week, and they went 3-0. I don't know if you can call them the Tennehaw tournament champs. We did that day, but no, it was fun.
Right.
So,
yeah, I tell you what, there's a good future for the Shelbyville Dragons coming out of that programs that are coming up there. That's for sure, for sure. Switch over here, talk a little bit about the ladies. They're starting to stay in there and trying to keep there in the bottom. Coach Harrington's kind of rolling them along a little bit there, but the girls have had some ups and downs here this year. But I mean, they're still trying to run. They got a tough one. The Woden Lady Eagles, they're a tough squad.
right, me and Coach Harrington were talking today. They've got 3 games left. They are at home versus Woden. They go to West Sabine, and they come back home for SA. And they've got to win 2 out of 3 to have a chance to get in. And one of those wins has to include St. Augustine. So they've got 3 really important games. And we'll see what happens. I think they can get 2 out of the 3. They had West Sabine on the ropes at home, and just really came out flat against Woden the first time and didn't play really well. So I think they can get them tomorrow, and then they'll have another shot at St. Augustine. And we'll see what happens on the last day of the season. So
yeah, it's going to be a good. We're going to have that game for you here on NetSN on the last game. See, that should be a one that could probably leave for all kinds of marbles right there. That is for sure, for sure. I'll tell you what, they are doing a really good job coaching, and then the girls are coming along really good there. And we're also getting ready to get into some baseball, softball season. I know Coach Wallace is around here, and I know that you don't get into those coaching part of it, but that's starting to come around to a little bit there, and the cross country squads and everything going on for Shelbyville too. So a lot of other sports are kind of rolling out there right now.
Well, we're starting to get into that point of the year here in about a month where we figure out that every coach has probably gone to a sporting event, and somebody's got to stay back and cover athletics. And sometimes that's hard because you got coaches pulled in so many directions. Baseball, softball, track, golf, tennis, everything. So it's about to get to the point where everybody is running like a chicken with their head cut off.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it's a lot of fun. Wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah, fun time of the year. It's always a great weather when it comes around for that there too. That's for sure. All right, Coach. Well, I tell you what. Good luck to you and the guys. We'll see you on Friday, and the gals on Friday there in West Sabine. Look forward to that one down there. Always a good time when we go down to Tigerland down there, bringing the ball games. And good luck to the Dragons as we get close here to the final few games of the regular season. It's going to be good right down to the wire.
Looking forward to it.
All right, give me one no.
All right, go Dragons.
There you go. All right, folks, we'll be right back. We're going to talk to Coach Lewis of Tennehaw Tigers. It's on the way here on NetSN.
At Shelby Savings Bank, the same thing that's true at the Selma Street location is true at the North Branch. It's where banking meets the smile. They're not just friendly tellers, they're your friendly tellers. And the smile on Manager Janet's face, it's contagious. When you say Shelby Savings Bank is your friendly hometown bank, well, you hit it right on the nose.
Joaquin Tire in Joaquin, Texas. Family owned and operated with new and used tires, general mechanics, and road services. Jesse and his team is proud to serve the community with car, truck, and commercial mag vehicle tires. They're located in Joaquin at the 84 and Highway 7 split. Call the shop today to make an appointment at 936-269-9516. That's 936-269-9516. Joaquin Tire is a proud sponsor of Game of the Week. Stop in and see them today for all of your new and used tire needs.
Sparky D's Bargain Store. Who are we? We're an online auction store on Facebook. Find our page on Facebook. There you'll find a post for our weekly auction. If you find an item you like, place your bid and you could be a big winner and save yourself lots of money. We're on Facebook only for our weekly auctions. We're located in Center, Texas. Check us out on Facebook. It's Sparky D's Bargain Store, where we will save you more. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. Then come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
All righty, folks. Welcome back here to the Pineywood Area Coach Show. With me, Coach Lewis of the Tenneha Tigers. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm awesome and blessed, and happy to be here on a Monday night. And I tell you what, I was talking a little to you before we got on the air here, and I tell you what, a big win that was over Beckville, and you were telling me some of the things that was that win accomplished over there was kind of did some things to knock Beckville down a little bit, didn't you?
Yes, we did. It was a big win. You know, they was on a 22 game winning streak in district play at home, and you know we was able to go over there and exit out for them, and you know they weren't too happy about it. But man, our guys played really really well on Friday night, and you know it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Right. Well, I've got to call you guys a bunch of times already this year, you know, and in the tournament there, got to see you guys a little bit there too. But I mean, after the tournament, it just seems like you guys are improving every game coming along so far. What do you think of that?
You know, our motto is one at a time, and you know our deal is, you know, from practice to games, we just want to get 1% better.
Right.
And every day our guys show up. That's our goal, to get 1% better. And we're playing really really good basketball right now. We also got a lot of basketball left, so we just still steady standing, you know, one at a time. But it's a lot of fun right now. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of fun right now. And I tell you, I like calling the guys. And first time I went over there, Mr. Sewell, he said, "You gonna be calling my name quite a bit." I said, "All right."
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the confidence that he has, and all the guys over there. And I mean, everybody. I mean, all those guys. I get to see them, you know, when I get over there, and they're always, "Hey, Larry, how you doing?" Always very, you know, nice and cordial, and just
Yes,
good
sir.
young men.
We
Good young
got
men.
some great kids, you know. And every time you talk to them, always yes sir, no sir, and you know things like that. They hold themselves accountable,
Right.
And I tell them, you know, good disciplined basketball teams go a long ways, and that's one thing. We're very disciplined, and they carry themselves well, you know.
Yeah, they definitely do that. And like I said too, that first game, they say, "You gonna come back?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll be back." So
You'll
I'll
be
be
back,
back as many as possible. So I love coming over there, covering the Tenneha Tigers. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
And you know the SEC over there. But I got to hand it to you, Coach, because you know the holiday hoops tournament is a big deal. It's already January. I know you guys are already starting
The
the
crazy
little bitty
thing
things.
is, we had a meeting today about it. We had a meeting today.
Already.
Yeah,
And
we had.
this takes place in December, folks. Kid you
Yeah.
not. But yeah, already getting us started on it. But then you did that in December, and then you just put together like a junior high tournament at your
Junior high.
house this past weekend.
This past weekend we had I think it was eighth grade teams and five sixth grade teams, and it was a good tournament. Our boys finished third. Actually, you know, they played really really well. Lost the second game to Beckville, so you know Beckville fired up on that. They beat us by 10, so they didn't get us Friday night, but they ended up getting us on Saturday. But it was a good tournament for us. You know, we had like March Mill, Kings Academy, Beckville, Wascom, Timpson, Hawkins, and Gary. So it was a really good pool of talent, and it was a good tournament. You know, all day tournament. So it was good for our kids. Just get more games. That's the key to success, is just playing.
Right.
You know, we was able to get 3 games in on Saturday, and you know they got 3 more games, and then junior high basketball will be over with. But that group is fun to watch as well. They've got better, you know, every game, and so you know we losing a lot. Like this year, we'll graduate 5, and you know some of those guys in the 8th grade, we got 1 or 2 that possibly could play up next year. So
Right.
they're fun to watch right now.
That's good. I mean, the future is bright here for the Tenneha Tigers.
Yes,
Like to see
sir.
that coming up there too. And you know, of course, anytime you can get them tournaments over there and you can open up the Tiger Cafe, it's
Right.
always beneficial. If you haven't eaten the Tiger
No.
Cafe, I don't know what you're waiting on. Huh?
Everybody look forward to that. Matter of fact, we had a coach text us today say, "Hey, the Tiger Cafe gonna be open tomorrow." Yes, it'll be open. So Cafe will be open tomorrow. We try to open up at all home
Right.
games, and then so we work on a big playoff preview that we'll do at our place on the 14th on Valentine's. So It's funny that one of my assistant coaches' wife asked, "Hey, what are we doing for Valentine's?" He said, "Eating fish."
Right.
So he just went ahead and told her, we'll be in the gym,
Where's
so
that?
you're gonna be eating fish. So it's gonna be a fun night. But anytime we play at home, we trying to get that tight cafe open. Everybody look forward to it.
Yeah, I bet. And I mean, I tried to go over there one time after I was done in Timpson to go over there and try to get some food and watch some games. The line was out. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch the basketball game.
Yes, that line. If you don't get there in time, and that line is going to be long, and
Hmm.
you ain't gonna like during holiday hoops, they say
Yeah,
it's gonna open up at 4:30.
yeah.
People get in line at 3 o'clock.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Three
I believe.
o'clock.
Yeah, I believe it.
So yes, sir.
Definitely. And I tell you, but I got done there one time last week or two ago, or the last couple of games I was there, and somebody was standing there and they were coming out and they still had some. Hey, you want some? Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Thank you. On my way out. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
on
Thank you.
your way out, huh? Yes, sir.
Definitely do.
Yes.
And I tell you what, in Tenaha too. I mean, you guys for a small town over there, but I mean, you guys do so many great activities over there. I mean, I've done some AAU basketball over there. You have the Tiger Gym, you have the SEC, you got all that over there. So it's a nice thing that the Tenaha community does over
Yeah.
there for all the different things
Man,
and for
they're
the
they're heavily involved, and that's one thing I can say about our community and how involved they are. Anytime that we're doing something, they're involved and they say, "Hey, what can we do to help?" and things like that. So it's fun. We do a lot of things over there.
right.
From when we start in August all the way through, and it's always something going on. So
Mhm.
it's fun.
Right,
It's
definitely.
fun.
It definitely is fun over there, that's for sure. Well, let's see. Talk to you a little bit about Garrison coming to town tomorrow night. Looks like we may be over there for that ball game
Yes,
tomorrow night
sir.
here on NetSN. So we love to cover the Garrison Bulldogs as well. So they're a good ball team in there as well. They're trying to stay in that little position there to try to be one of those Final Four in there along with you guys too. So, but right now you and Beckville find it all out. But I mean, Garrison's right there. They're going to look to come in here and see if they can make some noise.
Yeah, Garrison is still in the mix. Garrison, you look at the scores of our district. Garrison is right there in the mix of
Hmm.
everything. When we played them the first time at their place, road games are tough, and we tell our guys, anytime you go on a road, just it's tough,
Yeah.
But we went over there. We ended up winning by 4.
Hmm.
To me, we just shoot the ball very well, and we, overall play. I wasn't very happy with it, but at the end of the day, as a coach say, a win is a win, and we got
Right.
that win. So hopefully, tomorrow we'll come out, ready to play and have a good first quarter and continue to, to play well and things, shoot the ball well and things like that. So, they're going to be tough. They're going to, play a 2-3 zone. They're very aggressive out of it. So, our deal is we got to attack the gaps and move the ball well and make them work defensively, try to get the things that we need to get. So it'll be an exciting game. And,
Right.
good thing we got them at home this time. And, we love to play at home.
Uh-huh.
And we'll see what happens. But they're gonna show up ready to play because hey, they're still fighting right now.
Right. They're
You
still
know,
fighting for that position, that playoff position spot in there.
it's
That's
kind of
true.
like I tell my kids, nobody have clinched a spot and nobody have been eliminated yet. So
Right.
you got to show up and you got to be ready to play.
Yeah, I tell you, the final buzzer on that last game that you play, then you
Yes,
can worry about
then
it.
then we can worry about it. But right now, we're still fighting, and nothing is set in stone.
Hmm.
Nothing is set in stone. You got 4 teams kind of right there that's kind of battling with each other, and then you still got 2 or 3 other ones still in the mix. So after tomorrow night, hey, it's a fight.
Right. And this is a big team district. I mean, there's a lot of teams in this district
We
that are
got
fighting all up in there. And the Joaquin Rams, they had that long football season. They're fighting in
yeah,
there. Poor guys, the old Rams out there fighting good. The girls are doing good over there for the Rams too,
yep.
but getting back in there. But I mean, this is a big district. A lot of teams in there too.
We
So
got
you
eight
fight for your
teams.
life. Yeah,
Got
fighting for
eight
your life every
teams.
night that you're going in there. I mean, it's just like during the football season. You better be ready every night you play in East Texas.
Yep,
And the
you
same
gotta
thing
be
with
ready.
basketball.
Yep.
You be ready.
If you show up and you show up and you say, we got this one,
Uh-uh.
that's when you're gonna be in trouble.
Yep.
It's kind of like I tell our guys, it's 32 minutes of war.
Hmm.
You got to be ready to play. Nothing is given to you. You got to earn everything.
Right.
We
Right.
don't want anything given to us. We want to earn it, and we want to strive for greatness, and we want to be 1% better each day.
Definitely, definitely.
You know.
I can definitely see the coaching in that young man from you. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Some
I
of the
mean,
words that you talk about.
I coached him and it was fun coaching. He can shoot.
Yeah,
He will not go play no defense, but he
he
can
can shoot.
shoot. Yes, he can shoot.
There you go. All right, coach. Well, let's move over and let's talk about the ladies. So Coach Peterson new this year comes in here and he takes over a very good squad. And they were highly anticipated. They had a really good hard non-district season, but I mean they're still there. They're still playing very well. They're still at the top of the district. So tell me a little bit about the girls.
Man,
They've had their little ups and
they,
downs this year, but they're
they
still very solid squad.
yes, from day one to now, they've been up and down. I think we have 2 seniors, and the rest of them we play a lot of freshmen. Got a
Hmm.
couple sophomores. Right now they're tied first in the district with Timpson.
Right.
Us and Timpson both would go small school, so it's important these last 3 games. I think it's 3
Hmm.
that they have is important for them. to win out and try to be a district champion outright or be a co-district champion. But our girls are playing hard, every night they're playing hard. They're getting better each game. So they're fun to watch. They're really scrappy and all over the place when defensively, diving for loose balls and pushing the ball, scoring in transition and things like that. So, hey, we're fun to watch, but they're fun to watch as well.
Yeah, those girls definitely are. And I'll tell you what, I've seen them whenever they're clicking.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a fine old machine, and they will go up and down the floor on you and score.
And they
at will.
they're trying to score in transition. And, I thought our boys was pretty good at it, but you sit back and you watch our girls; they're really good at scoring in transition. So they're fun to watch, and they're getting better. Coach Peterson doing a great job. Last year he was our assistant head girls coach, and he was there, and this year he's the head coach. So they really haven't missed a beat. He just keep pushing them to strive for greatness and continue to get better. But hey, right now, like he said, we sitting off, we talk, hey coach. He like me, one at a time. Let's just focus on Garrison tomorrow. Then after that, we'll worry about who's next. But they getting better every game.
Right, they definitely are. And like I said, going to be in that playoff there hunt there. Be probably on the small school side of it. And we're going to be following over all the teams around here. We got a lot of teams that we can go after here. We're going to be all over the place here. But the East Texas teams are going to be well represented when the basketball playoffs come around there. That's for sure. Well, I tell you what, Coach, it's been a lot of fun so far this year. What else you guys got coming up over there, Desi? You going to take a little break, man? Get to the basketball season.
Once we get through basketball, we don't, in the springtime, only thing we do is we do track and then we do tennis. So we don't do baseball, softball like everybody else in Shelby County. We just, we do two more sports and then we'll be done. So after we get done basketball, we're hoping to play basketball a long time, So after spring break, we'll get on the track, and after that, play a couple of tennis matches and go to tennis meets and things like that. But other than that, man, we trying to stay in the gym as long as we can, man. It's warm inside. You control the heat inside. When you're on the outside, you can't control that. You can't control the guys' work. So
that's true.
We trying to stay inside as long as we can.
I don't blame you.
But in the springtime, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing track and tennis, and still competing and getting out there, trying to be successful in the things that we do. You know.
Well, and another successful program in Tenaha is also the soccer program is getting underway too, and the soccer's underway now. I think they had a match against Center not long ago.
We had a match against Center. We lost that 4-0, but man, I'm telling you, our kids playing hard in soccer. Soccer goes until spring break, and I'm telling you, man, it's fun to watch them. I was at Spring Hill, and we had soccer, and then I come to Tenaha, we got soccer, and those guys are fun to watch. They work hard every day. I actually sometime during the athletic period when my basketball guys go to the weight room, I sneak out and watch them out there on that on the soccer field. And you look at it, it's kind of like basketball, so I enjoy watching them from the distance and, watch some guys compete and get out there, the game, get out there and watch them and things like that. So they're fun to watch. They compete hard. We're in a tough district. We got 149 kids in our school, and we're in a district with Kilgore, Pine Tree,
Center,
Carthage. And so,
it's hard to play those guys.
Man, it's hard to play them. But, our guys, they get out there, they compete, So the other night against Center, there's a lot of people out there. It's like 30-some degrees. I'm sitting there like, man, it's cold out here. And, it's like a football game with a crowd. You got a lot of people out there. So, but our guys, they get out there, man, every day. And our girls get out there too, So our boys are UIL and our girls are not UIL. So they're kind of outlaw schedule, but they compete. They get out there too. So both groups are fun to watch.
Yeah, they definitely are. And like I said, we got to call them in a couple matches last year, and we'll look forward to seeing some of that there once we get to the postseason. All right, coming out there too. All right, Coach. Well, I tell you what, we're going to wrap this thing up here today. But thanks for coming down here and hanging out with us.
Yes, sir.
And bring Coach Peterson one of these days.
Yes, sir. Thanks. I'm finally able to get over here. So thanks for having us.
Hey, I understand. After seeing your schedule that you had to go through, I can understand why it's hard to get over here.
Yes,
it's hard for some of the. I know we're in Center, and we invite all the coaches down here, folks. But sometimes it's hard for all those coaches to get all the way up here, and we understand.
Yes, sir.
Cool, but
we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll have that table set up for you. Be ready to roll.
They'll be ready.
You come on in, get your fish plate.
There you go.
Be ready for tip off.
I'll be ready for it tomorrow night at Tenaha, and it's going to be Garrison and at Tenaha right around. The girls start about what 6 o'clock.
Girls start at 6. We'll have JV at 5, then varsity girls and varsity boys. So
there we go.
It'll be fun. It'll be a fun night.
Definitely come on out here, and also over in Shelbyville, got Woden coming over to Shelbyville for over there. And lots of great games across the Piney Woods area, folks. So we're going to wrap this up here tonight. And the Rick Meeks Show is, if you want to check it out, they're actually doing their football banquet out there. So that's where they're out there in Center. So that's where those guys are. If you want to go over there and check out what those guys are talking about there for Center. All right, that's going to wrap it up, Coach. Can you give me a go Tigers?
Hey, go Tigers!
There you go. All right, we're going to wrap it up out of here. We're out of here, folks. Hope everyone has an awesome, blessed night. See you next time on the Piney Woods Area Coach Show from the Pizzeria. Bye-bye.
The proceeding was a presentation of Watlington, Shires, and Pierce Productions. We hope you have an awesome and blessed night. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.